Welcome to a video tour of our Vocations app editor. This is the online program that you use to update and maintain your mobile app going forward. If you have not seen the video tour of the front end of the mobile app, you may want to watch that video tour so that you know some of the items that we're talking about. This is the app editor. Here we are in the editor, and there are two main areas, the functionality and content. We'll take a look at functionality first. That's where we have all of our different tabs arranged. You can reorder these tabs simply by grabbing one and moving it up or down. The first four tabs make up the first four tabs on the actual app. This is just a little preview tool. It looks a little better on your app, but this is a way you can kind of see what you're doing while in the editor. So we see preset is the fourth one, and it appears on the app, and more represents the remaining. So if you wanted to move forms up to the home page, maybe for a specific conference or reason, you would just simply rearrange it. If you wanted to edit the name of one of these tabs, you click the edit symbol and you can change the name and you can change the icon. There's modern icons and traditional icons. We usually build the app with traditional, so to make them match aesthetically, you're probably going to want to go with traditional unless we started you with modern. You can also upload your own icon, and we have some additional icons that you can request as well to upload. You can make the tab active or inactive here, and you can change the tab type. You probably won't need to do that, and we'll get into more of tab types a little bit later. You can also drag an item over here to make it inactive. So maybe you would have something active for a specific season or time period, or maybe a sign up for a particular retreat. You'd have it on for a while and then you'd want to turn it off. So again, this is how you reorder the tabs, turn them on and off, rename them, and rename their type. Let's take a look at content. This is probably where you will be doing most of your editing. Let's go into the Pray. And if you remember from the video tour of the app, we had a lot of prayers and resources built into the app itself, and they were all website links. And here we see these links to external websites, but you see they appear nicely inside the app. If you wanted to add or remove, you quickly click delete to remove one, grab this little cross to reorder, and then add new tab if you wanted to add in a new resource. So you'd give it its new name and you'd simply paste in the URL, and then your new resource would appear, usually at the bottom, so you're going to want to drag it to where you want to drag it. So very easy to add and remove these website tabs or these web views. We include many in the pray section for you, but easy for you to edit. Let's take a look at events. As you remember from the other video tour, events was also a website tab. And so there's the link to the actual Vocations website. Okay, let's take a look at discern. This is an info tab, and that means that the information is here in the app editor, and you simply type it in. You can grab this little corner here to give yourself some more room, and you can drag to the side. So here we have this question, how do I discern? And we have these pictures here. You can click browse and you can upload a picture. When we build the app, we'll put these in there for you. And again, we set up the app for you and get it going for you. This is for you to edit and to tweak. So don't think that you'll be starting from scratch and building this app. When we give you the app, it will be live in the Apple and Android stores, ready for iPhones, iPads, and all sized Android devices. This is simply for you to update and maintain and tweak it going forward. And the more parts of the app that are pulling from your website, the actual fewer times you'll need to come in here and make updates. But this is how you do it if you need to. Very simple. You just type in your text. Came in a little small there. We do recommend a font size of 4. It just makes it look good for the various device sizes. You can make things bold and use bullet points like you're familiar with doing in other editing tools. You can also insert an image, and if you really need to get to the HTML, you can do that as well for these info tabs. A little note on these, there are recommended image sizes. So you want to make sure that you upload the proper size. If you need help resizing, please let us know. But if you don't follow the sizing, the picture could look a little bit off inside the actual app. All right, and then this is an info tab. This is called a two-tier info tab, which means that once we go into it, and we'll take a look at it here. This was the discern, I believe we're working on, yes. So you see when we click on discern, we're presented with our four options. This is called two-tier info tab. In a one-tier info tab, you go straight to the content. But we do have separate sections here. Steps for discernment. We'll click edit, and again, you simply can edit your content here. If you wanted to do a link, you simply highlight here and click link, and then you can type in your URL. If it were to be an email address, very simple, type in mail to colon and then put in the email address. That's how you would make an email link inside of here. And here's the content. You see they have more content on this page. If you had some content that you for some reason wanted to appear at the very top of the page, if you didn't want to see the header image, you can uncheck this and the header image won't be there. The content will go to the top. Usually you want a header image because it looks better, but maybe you have a lot of functional content. There's no need for a picture. You can turn off the picture. You can also make this particular section inactive. So maybe for a short period of time you turn off one of these. You can do that. And again, you can reorder them. Let's take a look at some of the other features. This is the rewards feature. You may not need this. We turn it off by default, but if you wanted to, for some reason, give out some type of reward for attending X number of events, you do that here when the person attempting to pick up all the rewards or stamps comes to your event. They would hand you their device. You'd enter the secret code, which you might want to make more secret, and you'd type that in on their device, and it would put a stamp on their device. And when their device collects enough stamps, you might give them a free T-shirt. It's a built-in function. We have it turned off, but it is something you could turn on. Here we have their questions, which here's an example of an info tab tier 1. You see we went right to the content, and we'll go ahead and show you that on the app as well. We click on questions and we're going directly to content. So this is called an info tab tier 1, and the other one we saw was info tab tier 2. Resources are more website tabs. Website tabs automatically go to tier 1 or tier 2 depending on how many tabs you put in place. Forms, I believe, is a link or is a info. No, it is a website tab. Directions is the GPS page, and it's very great. You just type in the address here, and it automatically creates the GPS directions for you. You can see you can do add new location. If maybe you or have multiple locations you wanted to provide people directions to, or maybe for specific events you want to put in the directions on how to get to that retreat center or conference center or particular seminary or other destination, you put that in there, and now you can say, hey, in our app we have directions to all these locations. Just get the app. Videos, they were using YouTube, so it's simply a link to their YouTube channel. Capture is the item where you can take a photo with the device and have it emailed to someone on staff. This is where you specify that email address. Here is the photo gallery, and we will set this up for you. But if you wanted to add in more photos, you simply click browse and grab your photos and upload them. If you upload too large of a photo, it may not upload, so you probably want to resize to around the 1000 or 1500 pixels wide or smaller just to make it work nicely. You can also pull in from other online photo galleries, and you can have multiple galleries inside your gallery tab, or you could make multiple actual gallery tabs, up to you. Messages is where push notifications are stored, and we will show you that in a minute. Journal, there's nothing for you to do. It's simply a feature, and these items are more functional than anything you need to edit. Let's take a look then at messages. This is very exciting and powerful. This is where you can send out messages right to the devices of the people who have downloaded this app. You're going to want to resize it so you got room to see all 4 steps. Again, when the user downloads the app, they're asked if they want to receive messages. They say yes or no. Regardless of what they answer, they can always go into their phone settings and make a change. The good news here is that they are not bothered with providing their email or phone number, so they're more likely to say yes, which means you may reach some people that you may not have otherwise given you their phone or email, or it's simply just an easy way to reach people who do want to be reached. Yeah, you type in your new message here, and you might say there's a retreat June 4th through the 6th, and you might say register now, and you type that in there. Location determines where they're going to go when they open that. I'm sorry, location determines who you're going to send this to. You can actually send this notification to people based on their geographical location. Most of the time, you're probably going to want to send it to everyone, but for testing purposes, you could make a very small area, very, very small. And if you got this app count, you see the app count went down to 0. You could bring this app count down to 4 if you knew that you were in the building with the 4 people who had the device, and you send out your message. Just you would get it, and that's just kind of a way to do a test. Or maybe you're having a retreat over here, and you only want to send to people on the retreat. You could do that. Most of the time, you will probably send to all users. These app users are people who have said yes to notifications and have location services on. So you may have many more app users than this. All right, content is where the user will go when they open the notification. So if you were encouraging them to sign up for an event, you might put in the URL of the sign up form so they go straight there. Or if there's a page in the app you want them to see, you could take them right to that page in the app. Or you might just be sending out a general notification, and then when you're ready, you click publish. You can publish right away, or you can publish at a future time. So you could set up some notifications, maybe on a Friday that you want to go out on Sunday and you don't want to remember to have to do it. Active until, that would work for some geographically based notifications where you could have a notification go out when someone crosses through a particular map that you draw on the map area. You may not have a need for that, but you might, for a certain period of time, want to alert everyone that it's Vocations Week whenever they drive by your office or something like that. It is GPS based. You can imagine that there's a lot of variables, but it is a neat feature that is exciting. But again, GPS based, so it doesn't necessarily work perfectly. We hate to overpromise on that, but it is an included feature. Most of the time, you will probably just send out messages, regular messages to everyone at the moment you push send. That's how you do it. Your messages that you send are included down here, and then they're also stored in the messages tab in the app. If you ever needed to delete one so that it did not appear in the messages tab of the app, you could do that. Let's go back to functionality. In case you wanted to add a whole new tab, you'd click Add New Tab, give it its new name, and pick your type of tab. We talked about Info Tab Tier 1, where you go right to the content, Info Tab 2, Tier 2, where they have options. There is a 3 tier, but that could be a little confusing. Loyalty tab is the rewards that we showed you. A PDF, if you want to link right to a PDF that you're going to upload. You can also use the website tab to link to a PDF if that PDF is already online somewhere. You just type in that URL. And website tab, you'll probably use a lot of as well. There's some other features like an RSS feed. So if you had something that was coming through a feed, you could use that too. Messages tab we already have. Image gallery we already have. Fan wall is a neat thing. We recommend the first fan wall tab. The second one has some neat GPS coordinates for those posting the messages, but you may not want high school students posting messages and having their location recorded, so choose fan wall tab. And you could create a discussion board or a prayer wall using that as well. If you want us to include that when we build the app, just let us know. This one doesn't have it turned on. Events tab is for listing events, although sometimes it's easy to just link to the events on your website instead of typing them into the app. You could also use an info tab for events, which lets you edit more easily than the events tab. Around us is very powerful. You can plot the GPS coordinates for other areas or churches that might be around you. Contact tab would be a simple contact form. And directions view, you saw that where you can actually contact is what you saw. Directions go straight to GPS. There is no email or phone. So you could also do directions tab for a directions view tab for some retreats or conference center locations. All right, and then you would pick your icon. Again, probably you're going to want to pick from the traditional icons to make it match, or upload your own, or request some from us. Okay, that's how you make a new tab. And then once you do, I click save, it will appear here. So messages are very powerful, and then contents where you edit, and functions where you rearrange and create. As for QR codes, we will give those to you. You don't have to worry about them here. We give you a nice app flyer and a page on our website to make it easy to promote your app. We also provide some promotion ideas, a nice printable flyer, printable QR code. So we help you get the word out about your app, which is important. Thank you so much for taking this tour. And again, if you haven't seen the video tour of the front end of the app, you may want to watch that as well. Thanks so much. Bye bye.